as well.
Did you miss it? Is that what you missed?
So because Trey didn't do one.
All right, that's fine.
Well, I'm doing it too, though. Okay.
Whatever I said still doesn't change.
Can I go now?
As far as I'm concerned, you may.
Have you ever thought about what you can do to help the planet be a little greener? You think to yourself, maybe I can drive a hybrid car, but you realize a hybrid car is way out of your price range. You don't have to overspend. You can simply start with the things you already purchase or consume. When you come to school, you can't carry a cup of water, so you purchase water bottles. You drink out of canned sodas and bottled juices. In the morning, you probably read the newspaper. All these things contribute to make waste, but they don't have to be. Everyone should start doing their part to help the environment be a better place, which is why I believe everybody should recycle. For a few years now, you hear on the news that the planet's starting to feel the effects of global warming. Global warming increases the Earth's temperatures, which results in more extreme weathers. Warmer oceans fuel more intense hurricanes, meaning destruction and flooding in coastal areas, and wildfires in southern and western states. We don't have to wait to see what this will look like. We saw plenty of extreme weather in 2011. We need to do our part to help lessen the production of global warming. On an article on professorshouse.com, it states production of certain materials from scratch can release significant amounts of CO2, also known as carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. Aluminum production is a prime example. Producing new aluminum creates 95% more CO2 than recycling old aluminum cans. If we recycled all the aluminum cans that we consume, this would help reduce the CO2 released into the air. Not only can recycling aluminum help reduce the amount of CO2 in the air, but recycling paper also. Trees help reduce the amount of CO2 by absorbing it. So this means that if we recycle paper, it saves more trees. And for each ton of paper recycled, that's 17 trees saved. Recycling paper also helps save habitats for animals in the forest and helps with deforestation. Recycling also not only contributes to global warming, but not only by recycling will you help reduce global warming, but it also helps reduce the amount of trash that goes into landfills. As we have less landfills, an increased. Sorry, I missed that. In an article on superpages.com, they state that nearly 30% of trash in landfills is paper, 18% is food scraps, and 16% is plastics. Many of these items can be easily recycled, reused, and reduced with some advanced planning. If you recycled the paper and plastic alone, that would reduce 46% of waste going into these landfills. In an article written by Jason Brennan on affluentmagazine.com, he says the amount of trash that the United States produces has tripled in the past 50 years. At that rate, we will be producing nearly 1 billion tons of trash by the year 2060. Landfills are running out of room to store trash, and some states had begun dumping it into the ocean to solve their problem. About 70% can be recycled, which means if you recycle the things that are recyclable, there will be more room for trash that really belongs in there. If we don't recycle, we will eventually be surrounded in our own waste. I don't know about you, but to me that doesn't seem so pleasant. Not only is recycling good for the environment, it also benefits you. You can make some extra cash every time you recycle. A 2 liter is worth 10 cents, a 16-ounce bottle is worth 5 cents, a 12-ounce aluminum is worth 5 cents, and a pound of paper is worth fractions of a penny. It may not seem a lot of money, but believe it or not, many of these recyclable products add up, because as a society we produce so much trash that those who recycle make a good amount of extra cash. At my house, we recycle at least once a month. We let a lot of the bottles and cans add up, and at the end of the month, my little sister, she doesn't have a job, so she goes into recycle and she comes out with like $50. But like, if you just throw those away, nobody's gonna give you $50. So also, if you have a garden at home, you can recycle biodegradable waste like eggshells, vegetables, and fruit peelings and use them to fertilize plants. This will help you save a little money and will have your plants looking beautiful. You can also save a couple cents when going shopping by carrying your own green bags. Plastic bags are being used a lot and aren't being recycled, which costs more money for companies to produce more. And they have said before that they want to start charging like 5 cents per bag when you go grocery shopping. Well, when I go to Target and I take my own green bags, I save 5 cents for each bag I have. Like, you can also check with many of your other local stores to see if they have something like that that you can benefit from. So I have told you a few reasons why recycling is a positive thing we can all do to help our environment. It reduces global warming, helps reduce the trash in landfills, and adds a little extra cash to everybody's wallet. So I hope you all do your part and help the economy by recycling.
Alternative method.
Let me see. So, Thomas, what did you think?
I thought it was a pretty good speech. You read a lot off of your paper, so that was kind of like a distracting thing. And you didn't really move around a lot. So you could probably work on those two things. I liked your alternatives though, like the one where you deal with money because everybody wants more money. And I know I recycle a lot, so it's actually pretty beneficial. And I liked your conclusion, how you summed up everything at the end. I thought that was pretty good. Yep.
All right, well, the rhetorical question at the beginning is okay. We know what your goal is. I didn't really hear a very clear preview. We got onto the global warming issue, and I think that it's underdeveloped. You need to show what part of global warming or how much is contributed to by the waste that we're using. It seems to me like it's a very odd connection that you're making there. I'm not saying that there is no connection, but quantifying it or showing how significant it is or that it would make a difference, I think that's something that's a lot harder to do. Other issues seem more practical. For instance, maybe limitations on landfills or the utilization of resources if the resources are limited to some degree. It does sound very generic. The material that you have is pretty straightforward. The one emotional appeal that you make has to do to the greed that people have. Let's face it, we can make a little bit of money from recycling. Although I'm doing calculations in my head, if you paid $1 for that green bag, you would need to go to Target at least 20 times and use that bag every time in order to make your money back on that, instead of recycling the bag or paying the kind of thing on that. And you have to drag that bag around. So think of the extra weight that puts in your car every time. How much gas am I using to transport that? Holy criminy. It just seems, like I said, that it's okay. It's just very generic kind of stuff. It's boilerplate sort of information on recycling. So there's nothing that's particularly wrong with it, but it doesn't stand out. It's not as compelling as it could be. Your delivery is problematic. You're doing way too much reading. Come on, this is the end of the term. You know that you were doing this. You got some extra time to get ready for it. You can talk to us. We won't bite. We're pretty friendly folks. Well, except for a couple of people, but most of us are pretty friendly here. And you need to engage us more. All right, thank you.